Okay, let's look at Siemens. Aktiengesellschaft. Let's see. It's hard to tell a little bit what growth was with spinouts and all the stuff they've done. But it's a huge company, 20 billion in quarterly revenue. That's euros. Market rallied a little bit off the lows, down 3.3% now. A couple of our shorts are now green. We're flirting with break even over here. See if there's any opportunities. Google outperforming a little bit. Bitcoin holding above 80K, but still a little concerning. Very strange day. Okay, this is orders, not revenue. Bizarre. They actually sell the most in Europe, and Americas are actually not that huge for them, like 20% of revenue. It's a pretty diverse business. They have a software business and an automation business. Software business is up 15% year over year. Wow. So I'm guessing they do factory and automation software. I mean, factory seems like, I don't know, we'll see. All right, infrastructure. They have an electric kind of business. Maybe they service data centers. Mobility, railway infrastructure. Health and Years is like separate and public. It's diagnostics and imaging. Okay. It's like infrastructures, maybe they're... No. Health and Years is maybe the most profitable. Then infrastructure. Roland and Rolf. This is like the pride of Germany, this company. Is it the biggest German company? It might be. Let's see. No, SAP. SAP is bigger. Deutsche Telekom's number 3. Kind of pathetic. Germany's supposed to be like, you know, the one part of Europe that's successful. Bayer has just been decimated. We are now down 10 basis points. Thank you, quantum computing. Yeah, they just find American companies. 9? Airbus is, yeah, it's all over. No, I'm hanging pat here. I got plenty of quantum shorts. No need to go too crazy. Quantum's maybe another quarter or two of no revenue, no earnings. We'll do it. Or this old phrase, book to bill. Industrial Copilot. Fully digital airborne. Whoa. Fully digital borne aircraft from design to production. Supercharged by AI. The fuck? Entry into service by 2030. The jet. What? Is this real, chat? The fuck? Okay, this is a customer. Okay. This is not them. This is a custy. Jet Zero. There was a company called Net Zero a long time ago. Seems to be you're old enough to know this. Electric plane. I'm not flying in that piece of shit. I know you did, James. I know you did. Thanks, Stepfish. I don't think Jet Zero is public. I hope they're not public. Net Zero, Juno. One of my theories was to acquire United Online because they host Satoshi's email. Like, we would never violate the privacy of our clients except for one. Pretty much Vive. Yeah, exactly, Jono. Okay, let's get a little more energy going here. Siemens is a bit like, like a lot of industrial companies. It's pretty hard to understand. Oh yeah, totally. No, Rigetti is probably not the weakest quantum company. They're all really bad, but like QUBT is just literal scam, and then D-Wave is like not even quantum. But Rigetti and IonQ are both really bad too. But they are both actually sort of trying to do quantum. But IonQ kind of seems to be quitting and pivoting to quantum communication. And Rigetti is just like, has told you straight up that their product doesn't work. The guy said define useful, if you recall. So, again, it's kind of a weird weird space because it doesn't have any professional investors. There's no institutions that like these stocks at all. In fact, all the institutions are short, and they need to de-risk, so they're covering. So it's a bit of a shit show. Lace is at $2. The Jensen interview where he's like, you guys shouldn't call yourself computers. You're not really computers, are you? They're just fuming. It's like, I make computers. You guys make trash. You make shit. Don't call yourself a computer in my house. This is my house. You in Jensen's house? You acknowledge the king. Should have been like WWE. Well, you know why on cue. You've been pretending. And I'm sick of your shit. What do you think, Frenchie? The French guy answered. He's like, yes, I am the Frenchie. Let me answer. I don't think the patents will get useful. The patents are all expired. And I'm not sure anybody's... If there's no... Like, Honeywell already decided, right? Honeywell spun out their shit. There's no reason why they can't spin out. Like, Google can spin out quantum and just be like, look, if it can't survive on its own, why should it survive in here? It's total trash. Just upset at their financial reporting. I don't know why stock hasn't dropped today or yesterday. I don't know. It's a very volatile sector. It's I think there's a bunch of interviews that have been being passed around. I mean, that's the only thing I could point to, but I don't know. You know, I can't tell you. Yeah, I like Sarepta a lot. Yeah. Gotta be patient with that one. Okay, so Siemens did 10 billion free cash flow last year. Of course, they won't give me a shares outstanding number, which is a little annoying. A lot of these European companies just don't fucking understand the mind of an investor. You want me to buy? I mean, they don't care if you buy or don't buy, but I'm trying to figure out how many pieces your company is divided into. It's sad. There we go. Okay, 789 million shares outstanding. $150 billion euros, same enterprise value. So 10 billion free cash flow is pretty good. Could be a good conglomerate long. don't think Elevidys will get removed from the market. No way. Yeah, I mean, European stocks, not that much different from American stocks. Don't get... Their companies are a little less interesting, maybe, but opportunity is opportunity. Market falling back down a little bit. SPY down almost 4%. So yeah, this is a good 222-page report. Just get your printer to go whir. Oh, their fiscal ends in September. Factory automation systems and software, numerical control systems, servo motors, drives and inverters, integrated automation systems for machine tools and production machines. So factory automation type things. Process control systems, machine-to-machine communication, sensors, RF systems, product lifecycle management software, simulation software, EDA, Mendex, which is a cloud-native low-code platform, and some supply chain software. They get more software than I realized. And they bought Altair, which was publicly traded in the US. That was a popular company, I think. Not the Altair of old, of course. Okay, it's only 6.3 billion software out of 17 billion. So it's not just software by any means. They have their smart infrastructure business. Buildings, electrification, and electrical products. Heating, so HVAC, fire safety, Nancy's gonna buy in, Alejandro? Who told you that? Oh no. Not Nancy Pelosi. Richard Werner, who? You know, there are real investors out there instead of Nancy Pelosi, right? Imagine thinking Nancy Pelosi is a good investor. You guys, anybody talking about Nancy Pelosi is just straight retarded. Like, just close. Close the stream. Go do something else. Okay, so they own 75% of Health and Years. Health and Years is a pretty good business. I don't see why anybody would be punished for making a trade. Rumors spread all the time. Check, check, check. Yeah, press refresh if your audio is not working. That's not necessarily insider trading. If you hear a rumor that something's happening, that's not insider trading. You gotta learn the rules. If you're gonna play this game, learn the rules of the game. Market down a little bit again now, down 4%. This market's doing flips and shit. Yeah, I gotta explain to you guys what insider trading is. Here we go. This is a pain in my ass. If you guys could listen or do some research yourself, that'd be nice. One, the news has to be material. What does that mean? Usually this is interpreted in the framework of a single stock. So it has to be material to a specific security, usually. But, you know, the basic test here is a person on the street would agree that it's important news and the stock would move on that news. But there's some people that try to fight material, but it's almost always material. Two, it has to be non-public. You cannot find it on a website like Truth Social. You can find it on a website like Truth Social. It's public. Okay, 3. breach of duty. This is the complicated one. You got to think about this. Did somebody breach the duty to not disclose the information? A CFO has a duty to his stockholders, right? To keep that information private. If an airline attendant heard a CEO talk to a CFO, and the CEO says, I'm going to buy out, say it's Satya Nadella talking to Bill Gates, and Satya says, we should buy out Adobe. And the airplane attendant says, oh, I overheard Satya talking to Bill Gates about Adobe. And she calls a friend, Martin Shkreli, and she says, I really like Adobe. You should buy out of the money calls in Adobe. That is perfectly fine for me to trade Adobe because she's not telling me that she heard it from somebody who has a breach of duty. If she told me I overheard Bill Gates and Satya Nadella talking, I would say, well, there's a breach of duty there. The other thing that's important that the Second Circuit's recognized is there has to be an expectation of profit from the tipper. Now, my suggestion, of course, for anybody considering this type of line of work is to not insider trade. I've never done it, even when these things all lined up. Because it's just unethical, but there are many, many close calls where it's not. So let me give you an example of what happened the other day. You know, they could have been planning this tariff move hours in advance, naturally. Well, he was signing his tweet DJT. I think you're just confused there. I don't think he was saying to literally buy the stock DJT. He signs his tweets DJT, which is his name. I don't think he cares about DJT, the stock, specifically. That's why there's a comma there. I am ethical. I'm more ethical than you. So in any event, let's say they were planning at 9 a.m. to do this tariff planning, okay? There's 20 people in this meeting. At 10 a.m., a person, witness of that meeting, who has a breach of duty, who has a duty to not disclose secret government information. I'd say there's a duty there. Is it material? Yes. It's material on all equities. Is it non-public? Yes. So the witness calls, a friend, and the friend says, and he says to the friend, basically, he transmits the entire material non-public information. Okay. 11 a.m. Now, he said it was a good time to buy, DJT. He was signing it. He was not talking about DJT stock. And not only that, but he didn't trade DJT stock. So you're just an idiot. If there's a Form 4 filing or a 13G filing where he bought DJT stock, let me know. But he owns half the damn company, so he doesn't need to buy stock. This is stupid. Okay, so the witness calls a friend. You guys paying attention? He tells the friend everything. I was in the meeting with Trump. They're going to undo the tariffs, yada, yada. The friend, calls hedge fund manager 1. Hedge fund manager 1 manages a big hedge fund. And the friend says, good things about to happen. I would buy. Is this material non-public information? Can you trade on it? I think you could trade on this. The friend does not have a breach of fiduciary duty. Is it material? Yes. Is it non-public? Yes. But the chain of the duty has been lost. The friend does not have to keep the secret. At this point, it's a market rumor. And he's not confiding in him that there was the witness had the duty, but the friend did not tell the hedge fund manager where the information was coming from. It was sufficiently vague such that he could tell the rumor. And we don't know how many chains of communication took place before somebody made the bet. And let me tell you something about DC. Things leak like crazy. All people do in DC is gossip. So it would not have been long for people to know what was happening there. People can't keep a secret. So that's kind of how that works. It's not a loophole, it's just a definition of the law. So otherwise, trading on a rumor would be illegal. Somebody said, I heard a rumor NVIDIA is going to buy AMD, and now you can't buy AMD because somebody's made up a rumor. It's nonsense. Now, if that somebody is the CFO of AMD, then they have a breach of duties. Now, they have a duty of care. There has to be some kind of law, so that's how they decided, okay? You don't like it? I don't know what to tell you. That's the law. Correct. The airline attendant would not be allowed to trade because she should know that the CEO and CFO of Microsoft have a duty of care, and that by her overhearing it, she's being exposed to MNPI, where there is a breach of duty. They should not have been talking about that. It doesn't matter if Trump breaches the duty. What matters is who trades on it. You're allowed to give insider info. You're not allowed to trade on insider info. That's a tough one, CTM. It's probably not insider info there. There's no breach of duty because, there's just simply and it's an ambulance. I mean, there's no duty to not disclose. The ambulance company doesn't have a sworn promise that they won't, do something like that. No, I'm saying just the opposite. If it's publicly available commentary that doesn't require private access, then it's not MNPI anymore. It's public. So it's non-public. No longer applies. It's public. I don't think you guys should even think about this, okay? There's no point in thinking about it. S&P down 4%. I think some of you guys are too stupid to be here. Just hit the X button. Yeah, I hired one of the guys from two guys from Galleon. One of them was a big loss, but I didn't hire any traders. Well, I don't know. Galleon wasn't that great of a fund. I know, Jordan. I'm going to shut the studio down. I don't think we have international yet, but we're very close. Very close. Maybe today. I prayed 2 times so far. I got 3 to go. I got the Imam bot in Discord. We can look at Summit in a minute. Okay, I have a second account here with 30K in it. I don't know why it has this. What the fuck? Okay, I guess I have to... Oh, I got some interactive stock for free, I guess. need to upgrade to market. I got more than that, Sam. I got a whole rack of accounts in the back. Freshly printed. Well, Max, we said we haven't really worked it out. We got some more work to do on that. I don't know on Sarepta if they do a buyback or what. Market's on 4.25% now. Whew. See if we can focus on Siemens. I think cash flow is kind of where I want to focus on. Annual cash flow numbers, and fiscal 24 they did 11,814 in cash flow and then 20,888 in capex, so roughly 10 in free cash flow. And I think revenue grew pretty decently. So you're paying 15 times for a conglomerate growing. That's not bad. You can't get the deal in America. So Siemens could be a good long. I'm pretty sure if you have to trade their ADR, it would work. Let me check. I hate trading level 3 ADRs. They don't have a level 1 ADR as far as I know. Let's see. Siemens. What is this? Yeah, I don't want to trade any of this bullshit. But I guess this would be a SMOF. SMOF. Okay, so you could trade SMOF, theoretically. It's not the greatest thing to trade 200 shares of volume. I'd rather trade the European stock. Can you not do that on Thinkorswim? Can I not? Is Thinkorswim that trash? I do use Bloomberg, but I'm also making this thing called Godel. SPY down 4.4%. Some of our shorts are barely moving. Yeah, we're going to look at some of the Japanese conglomerates. So no European stocks on Thinkorswim? No, that's not foreign stocks, Alex. That's just OTC garbage. I'd rather go with Vertex if I were you, BTB. I think you have to do. You can't do it on Thinkorswim for sure. Yeah, it looks like they do pretty shitty job on the foreign stuff. They have Japan, Hong Kong, Germany. Yeah, I wouldn't do the ADRs unless they were sponsored ADRs, level 1 ADR. Spied on 4.4 after a big run yesterday. Okay, we're up 25 bips. Rough performance thanks to Quantum, but, you know, it's just vol. I don't get angry at stocks. Okay, so cash flow for Siemens was flattish. So not growing necessarily, but I think 2025 will probably grow. I think they have guidance on that. Let me maybe grab another annual. Probably pretty good defensive stock to own. See, you guys always say I don't have any longs. I'm giving me longs day after day. PayPal, Siemens, Shopify. Stop hating. Okay, so in 2022, Siemens did more like 8 billion euro cash flow. So now they're up to 10-ish. Let's see what they're saying 25 will look like. Well, they're saying net income of 11 euros a share. This is roughly 10 billion. Well, that's more like 9. mean, another way to look at it is 3 to 7% revenue growth. So there's some modest growth there. Yeah, I'd be long Siemens, just on first blush. Cool. Thanks for indulging that. Now let's look at one of these four.